Hey, this is Mark for Expo TV. Today I'm going to review this LG 225 cell phone. It's a pretty low-end cell phone, the kind that you can get with a lot of prepaid services, sort of like TracFone. This is a TracFone, and I think you can also get it with Net 10. It's a pretty nice low-end cell phone, though. It charges through the bottom, as you can see. Just unplugs. And it does have a little rubber cap for this bottom plug. What's annoying, though, is that the cap is not attached to the phone at all. Whereas with a lot of phones, there's a little flap, like it'll come out and then hang there. So you have to keep track of this tiny little thing every time you charge it. And it might fall out while you're using it or carrying it around, and then you'd never find it again. That being said, it's probably not a big deal to walk around without a cap in the bottom, but it could have added a little flap to keep it in there. The phone is pretty solid, feels pretty sturdy, doesn't feel like it's going to bend or snap in your pocket. It does have a camera, which is nice. A lot of track phones don't have cameras. So it's got a little camera button on the side there for taking photos. It's got a up and down button on the other side that you can use to scroll between ringer volumes, but also when it's turned, when it's closed, it's displaying the time on the outside, and you can scroll through and it'll show the date. Let me adjust the focus there. So you can scroll between time and date when it's closed. That's nice. And there is an antenna, which is kind of annoying. A lot of phones don't have those, and it sort of sticks out oddly, but it's not a big deal. Open it up. It's got a regular keypad, nothing much special about it. It is pretty nice. A lot of track phones, some of the lower end track phones, their keypads are rubbery and they don't feel good, and they're not good. This one feels good. The buttons click nicely and they definitely register when you press them. Now I'm going to do my best not to wiggle this too much and try to show you the interface, just the focus there. As you can see, it's got a pretty average cell phone interface. It shows your units on the front, your minutes, that is, they call it units. You can go to the menu. It's got a prepaid menu. That's where you can add minutes, check how many minutes you have, check your phone number, stuff like that. It does text messages. You can also send picture messages with this because it's a camera. It's kind of pricey for TracFone, but it does have a web browser. TracFone doesn't let you browse the entire mobile web, though. The only thing you can use the web browser for is buying ringtones for an insanely high price from TracFone. So it's not all that useful. It's got games. The only game that comes on here is a Bejeweled ripoff. You can probably buy more for a high price. It's got My Folder, which is just like a customized menu. Recent calls, pretty self-explanatory. Tools, I'll go through that. It's got camera, of course. It has an alarm clock, calendar, calculator, notepad for storing text files, world clock, unit converter. That's pretty handy. It converts, you can see length, surface, weight, volume. That's it. But that's nice to have. And tip calculator, so that's kind of cool. It has an address book, just an average address book, and then settings. You can change audio display, just your average settings. There's nothing much special. And I'll show you the camera just so you have an idea of what the camera looks like. It's, well, I'll go ahead and take a picture of the webcam I'm using. So you can see it's not the best. There's not much you can do with the pictures because it doesn't come with a USB cable. You can send them to another camera that has a USB cable. It costs a lot to send pictures with TracFone. But it does take pictures. You could take pictures and set them as your wallpaper. That's kind of nice. But overall, I would say that this is a fairly decent TracFone, considering it's a TracFone. It's a flip phone, which is nice. Feels high quality. Has a camera. There's not much you can do with the camera, but it does have one. Overall, if you're going for a TracFone and you want something a little higher quality than most, then I would go with this, the LG 225 TracFone cell phone.